Yeah, g'day. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me. And Happy New Year! Sun's coming up on the first day of 2025 and I'm out at the Cotter on beautiful Ngunnawal country. I grabbed a coffee on the way out and I'm about to go for a bit of a hike. But before I do, I thought I'd have a quick check-in with you all about the year that was 2024. But yeah, first of all, thank you. Big thank you to everyone who supports this channel, watches this channel, even if you don't subscribe. You know, I really appreciate you just coming along and checking out what I do. I never thought, you know, a bonehead like me out wandering around the bush would be of interest to anybody. I only ever did this, channel just as a bit of a hobby and a bit of fun. And the fact that people subscribe and follow and send comments and sort of pep me up and talk me through all of their thoughts about what I'm doing just blows me away. So thank you so much for that. It does make my day when I hear people leaving comments about the videos I make. It's fantastic. I've got a lot of supporters who have been with me now for most of this journey, and they usually engage most of the time whenever I send a video. And big thank you to all of those. I'll put a few names on the screen. If you've watched the channel for a little while now, you'll know that making money was never something that I did this channel for. So I just make a donation. So I made a donation the other day, donated all the money I've made so far to a company or organisation called Mental Health Foundation, ACT. They do a lot of great work in the local community here, helping people that are struggling with mental health challenges. And I think that's a fantastic way to sort of pay it forward a little bit. So if you want to support this channel, feel free to make a donation to that great charity. I'll leave a link down below. But if you even just leave a comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I know there's a lot of people who watch this channel that aren't subscribed. It doesn't cost anything. Just click the button, and it helps push the video out, and that way more people will see it, and then the charity will get more and more support. So whatever you can do, that would be great. Anyway, I'm not here to promote the channel or anything like that. That's just me going off on a tangent. I guess I wanted to just talk through the fantastic year that I had. Camping, hiking, just visiting places, getting out and about as the channel, that's what it's called. Yeah, well, camps. This year I went on 12 camps. I went on 8 swag camps with my car and 4 hiking camps where I went overnight and took my tent and hiked out into the bush. So yeah, 12. That's on average one a month, which is pretty good average to keep me sane and keep the balance right between work and all of those other things and just being by myself and recharging. I guess some of them were more enjoyable than others. I had a couple of really big storms this year. A couple of big thunderstorms and a couple of big wind storms, which were that much fun. I don't mind the thunderstorms and the rain and all that sort of stuff. In fact, the most enjoyable, I think the camp I enjoyed the most was one where I did have a big summer thunderstorm. It was a beautiful day, and then the storm just rolled in at sort of dusk, and a lot of noise, a lot of thunder, lightning, and belting rain. But it was fairly still for the most of it. It wasn't windy, so it was beautiful just being out in the bush and having the thunder and lightning keep me company. And then when that died down, I had a visit from a bogong moth, which was absolutely magnificent. They're huge, big moths, and he came and hung out with me and took some shelter under my tarp. Stayed with me all night. He was there in the morning as well. So yeah, I guess that was my favourite swag camp this year. But I also went on a couple of hikes, Settlers Walk, and just out into the bush. You just can park the car and just wander off into the Namadgi National Park, which is great. It's a huge area, so you sort of you only have to walk for a couple of minutes and you're by yourself. And did that a few times, and that was awesome. Yeah, so yeah, fair few camps, and I also went on a heap of hikes. I recorded 18 hiking videos, which I guess it's probably about half of the hikes I did. I don't record them all, of course, and yeah, so pretty much every weekend I'll go for a hike somewhere, maybe 1 or 2 hikes. So yeah, they were pretty good as well. And I tend to go to the same spots. I think I went out to Square Rock about 4 or 5 times this year. I only recorded it a couple of times. But yeah, it's a fantastic spot, and I guess my favourite hike this year that I shared with you was the one I did out towards Square Rock on the Smokers Flat circuit, which was, it was like -10, bitterly cold but perfectly still. It was a beautiful morning. I think that was my favourite hike. It was really something different. This neighbourhood, this area around me in the national park can really turn it on when it wants to. So really enjoyed those hikes. Beyond the camping and the hiking and the stuff that I share on this channel, I tend to get out and about all the time. It's just what I love doing. I love being outdoors. And this year went to a whole bunch of places. Where have I been this year? So early on in the year, I went up to Brisbane for a day for work. Caught up with some people up there, which was pretty cool. Had a long weekend, the Anzac Day long weekend in April at Port Stephens with some school friends, and that was pretty good as well. And I just went up there and did some hiking and some just sitting around having some nice meals and chatting about the old days, which was pretty good. Port Stephens is a nice place up on the mid-north coast. Where else did I go? Thredbo. I went down to Thredbo with the family for a day and spent the day at the snow. It was middle of winter, and the only snow was this man-made stuff that they pile onto the ski runs. So it was wasn't exactly the snow-capped Alps, but it was a lovely day, a great day. Went up there and had some lunch and went for a wander around, threw a few snowballs at each other and did all that sort of stuff. I did bump into, I didn't video this one of course, but I did bump into a couple of young couple and they were from Canada. They were parked next to me, and I got chatting with them as they were loading their car back up, and I said to them, look, there's you come all this way to go skiing, and I apologised on behalf of Australia for it because there was no snow, and they said, no, don't be silly, it's lovely, it's fantastic, it's great being out here. And I thought, oh, that's fantastic. They could just come out here and enjoy being out in Australia, even though we don't have the same level of snowfields as they do in they were from Vancouver of all places, so sitting on the fringe of the best snowfields in the world probably. So that was pretty cool. So Thredbo, we went down there, but we also spent a fair few days just chuffing around. We'd take a day like a Sunday and we'd get in the car and go for a drive. We went up to the Burrawa Woolfest and spent the day there in the little township of Burrawa, which was pretty cool. Went up to Crookwool for a day and walked around the antique shops there. Spent a day in the Southern Highlands, Moss Vale and Bundanoon and Fitzroy Falls and all those places. Again, just go up there, have lunch, just wander around, see some beautiful parts of the world. It's fantastic, and I just love it. Love getting out and about. And we also went up to Foster for an end of year holiday with the family. We always go up there for a week or two come the end of the year. Second home, love Foster, it's a great spot. Weirdly, we were back for Christmas this year. We usually have Christmas up in Foster, but we're back in Canberra this year, so things are starting to change there as the kids get older and they've got work and things that they're committed to. So but anyway, a bit of a change there. But I guess the biggest event this year on the getting out and about front was Europe. My wife and one of my kids and I went over to Europe for 4 weeks in June. So we got away from the cold here and up into the beautiful Mediterranean summer for 4 weeks. It was fantastic. Spent most of the time in Italy and a fair bit of time in Rome, Florence, Venice. Where else did we go? Pisa, Genoa. I think that was it. They were the main places in Italy we went to. We spent probably 2 weeks in Italy all up. But we also did a 14-day cruise and scuffed around the Mediterranean. So we went to 7 different countries, which was awesome. So we went to Malta, Spain, also go France, Greece, Croatia, Italy of course, and Dubai on a stopover up and back. But it was just magnificent, beautiful, totally different part of the world to what I'm used to getting out and about in. So fantastic. Rome is amazing. Loved it, loved every minute of it. Total chaos, but I thought it was fantastic. Just watching the chaos and just getting part of it, feeling like totally at ease, never once feeling anxious about how crazy the whole world is up there. People everywhere, cars driving around 1,000 miles an hour all over the road, doesn't make any difference to them, they just go for it. And I loved it. But I guess my favourite place, if I had to pick one of the whole time, was Venice. I just fell in love with Venice. I don't know what it was. It was we're getting towards the end of the 4 weeks when we sort of landed in Venice. We had a few days there, and I guess the biggest part was there was no cars. Like, as much as I enjoyed that craziness that was in Rome, you get to Venice and there's just boats and people and no cars. It's fantastic. I loved it. And you just sort of wander around. You get lost instantly. It's just like a bloody rabbit's warren. It's like, no, more like one of those mazes they put rats in. It's just like that. You know, tall buildings and just tiny little corridors in between them, and you walk down them and suddenly you hit a canal and can't go anywhere. But I loved it. It was just so much to see. It was just such a beautiful city. Everyone seemed to be in such a good mood. It was quiet, it was calm, it was beautiful. We saw some magnificent things right across the whole trip, and loved it. So can't wait to get back to Venice. Can't wait to get back to Rome. Probably go up and do a few more of those sorts of things over the coming years, hopefully, now that the kids are well off our hands and looking after themselves, and my wife and I can get out and do these things now that we've got a bit more time on our hands, which is fantastic. So yeah, that was my year, getting out and about. Pretty big one. Hope it's as good this one coming up. Day one, video one. Hopefully it'll be just as good. We do have some plans. We're hoping to get to Japan for a few weeks, sometime in the next few months, maybe May or June, something like that. About the same time we left last time. June's a bit hot and humid up in Japan, so I'm hoping to get away before then. But I've got a lot of work weirdness that's going on. I've got people away from work, so I can't sort of skip away while they're on long service leave. So I might have to just play Tetris with my time and block that in and make a commitment and jump and go and book it. But anyway, that's the plan. But apart from that, I hope to get out for 12 at least camps again. I just love that. That is my go-to happy place. Getting out. I love being at home. Love my days of work. I love getting up early and going for a walk, going to work, spending the day with my work colleagues, doing stuff, making a difference in people's lives. It's fantastic. I spend the whole day talking to people, and I love it. I really enjoy that part of my job, but it drains me. It makes I'm exhausted come the end of the day, and I just like that, sitting at home, just chilling out with the family. We all do our thing. We've got our own little routines. It's fantastic, but the camps and the hikes and the walks every morning, it's all part of my my balance and recharging. So I don't plan to stop that. So this channel will continue this year. Hopefully I produce enough enjoyment for you all to stick around with me. I once again appreciate 3 big yellow-tailed black cockatoos flying over. Yeah, so like I said, thanks once again. I can't thank you enough. It's fantastic, all the support I get. It's part of the recharge. I enjoy just reading the comments, and there's always a few nimrods that want to say something stupid, and that's just water off a duck's back to me. So bring it on. I just ignore you. I'm really good at ignoring that sort of shit. So it's swamped by all of the fantastic comments. So thanks for that. Really appreciate it. It recharges me, and that's it. 2024 in a nutshell. Looking forward to this year. 2025 is going to be just as good, and hope you'll come along for the ride. So yeah, as always, thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you've managed to hang around this long, it's a pretty weird little video for me, but I'm going to go for a hike. I've got probably, what's the time? It's 6:30, so the family's still well and truly in sleep. So I'm going to go for a hike for a couple of hours by myself, and just go and talk to some kangaroos and hopefully some emus. I saw some emus as I came in. Hopefully they're still here. And as always, thanks for joining me. And until next time, stay safe.